Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the new gold label Walmart exclusive DC Multiverse Captain Atom. Let's get a better look at that packaging, shall we? So here we have the packaging up close and personal. We of course have the contents of the packaging, which we will get into in quite a minute. Then we of course have the gold label sticker, not sticker, but thingy right there. Ages 12 plus, 22 moving parts. McFarlane Toys up there. On the bottom, we of course have the DC Multiverse logo, followed by the nameplate, which happens to be Captain Atom. Of course, Captain Atom again, DC Multiverse logo on there. An ad for DC Universe Infinite to read a comic based off of said character. Then on the back, we of course have this gorgeous looking panel of Captain Atom. Except I don't really like the hair. That hair is kind of weird. I don't like that. Then we, of course, have Captain Atom from the new 52. And on the bottom, we, of course, have another ad for DC Universe Infinite. And then here we have, of course, the McFarlane Toys social medias. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On the side, we, of course, have Captain Atom, sourced straight from the pages of the new 52. And then we, of course, have DC Multiverse right there. McFarlane Toys logo right there. And And of course we have the Justice League legalese right there. And then we of course have the barcode for all you barcode hunters. I see you. I respect you. I see you. But yeah guys, that'll do it for this segment, and we will get this dude out of the packaging. Alright, so here we have Captain Atom out of the packaging. And of course, before we take a look at the figure himself, we're of course going to take a look at the other contents of the packaging. So first of all, we have the stand, and this is of course the DC Multiverse hockey puck with of course the DC logo stamped in right there. We've got the one peg right there and the 4 little mold things right there. And then we of course have his individualized card, which again has that weird panel that I don't really like his hair on. I much rather like it on the figure, but of course it's Captain Atom from the new 52. And then on the back, that's basically the origin. He's very similar to Dr. Manhattan in his origin. If you know Dr. Manhattan's origin from the Watchmen film or the comic or whatever you've consumed Watchmen from, that's basically Captain Atom's origin here. He got trapped in a nuclear reactor. He got atomized, and then they managed to the government managed to trap all of his atoms into a containment suit, which is what you see before you. And he serves the government in the DC universe, which could be problematic at times, especially in things like the Justice League Unlimited TV show during the Cadmus arc. Captain Atom's a member of the Justice League, and there's an episode where General Eiling, who's mentioned in the card there, reenacts Nathaniel Adams' selective service card, and so he has to fight Superman on behalf of the U.S. government. And it's a very interesting story with the way that all plays out. But let's get a better look at the figure. And he of course comes with 2 effect pieces, which I find really cool. He comes with this fist piece right here that's made for this fist right here. And it's more of a standard effect piece you'd see, like if he powered up and hit somebody, like that's the effect piece you'd want. And let's get a better look at it. And it's pretty difficult to put those on and off, but we'll manage. And yeah, it's a standard like fireball piece with a little hand mold right there. And I think this is very well done. It looks great on the figure. I'm hoping we get more effect pieces in the future. And then the other effect piece, which to handle his gripping hand, you kind of put the hole around this piece, and it's just kind of like that. But I like the color of the effect pieces. It really translates to what Captain Atom's kind of thing is all about. And it looks good with his suit. But here's Captain Atom. I've wanted a Captain Atom for some time. Captain Atom is one of those D-list characters that I really like. I think he's really cool. He's uber powerful. He can go up against Superman. Several times he has in Justice League Unlimited and Injustice. He was on Team Batman, unfortunately. So there's that. But the figure here is overall... he's a silver figure, obviously. He's got a black eyeshadow right there. The Captain Atom logo. Then you've got the gloves painted on there. And of course the boots painted on there. Blue boots. Rest is pretty much silver. So there's that. And the hair is painted metallic. But everywhere else is this weird kind of sheen that they use on their metallic figures. And it's very strange. Because you go from this very metallic kind of hair color to just this kind of sheen. Now, I guess it fits for Captain Atom. But it would just be cool to have a metallic figure, and that being Captain Atom, I guess, would be pretty cool. But besides that, there's nothing really new to say about this guy since he's a reuse of the Ted Kord Blue Beetle mold. As, you've, of course, got the boots right there. You've got, it's the standard Blue Beetle buck. Same issue I have with, and I went into more detail in my Flashpoint Build-A-Figure Wave Flash review on the inconsistencies, on my complaints with this mold, like the skinny wrist pegs right there, and basically that's all I really have to say about this figure, unfortunately, but other than that, he's a pretty solid buck, I'd say. It's a good standard buck, but I'd prefer if they wouldn't use a standard buck and just sculpt. You know, do the thing you promised to do, Todd. But anyway, let's get a look at his articulation. He of course has full range of motion. You know, double ball peg, all that stuff. Up, down, all the way around. Head pivot, that stuff. He, of course, has loose shoulders, I've noticed. Armpit joints are very loose. He can move up about that far, down about that far. You don't even hear the ratchet. That's how loose they are. Can move all the way around like so. He has bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, which don't look the best, but there they are. And then you, of course, have the wrist joints, which move back and forth like so. And then if you rotate the hand at the top, you can move it back and forth like so. One of my favorite parts of these McFarlane figures is the fact that you do have the choice to do both. And then for the abs, got a lot of rotation in there. Very good backward rotation, almost Matrix level kind of rotation. You could easily do like a Neo kind of thing right there. And then decently far forward that it sticks actually. You could do something there where you could have someone like hitting and him looking relatively realistic. And of course, rotating at the top and bottom of that joint. You got the diaper right there. And then of course you got standard McFarlane legs. He has thigh pivot right there. He has double jointed knees right there, which are oddly discolored from the rest of the figure. It doesn't have that sheen on it, which kind of distracts me a little bit, but it is what it is. And then we, of course, have the ankle joints, which move side to side at the top. Ankle pivot on the bottom. Not much ratcheting there. Kind of worrisome, in my opinion. I like hearing the ratchet to make sure my figures are nice and stable. And then, of course, you can move up and down. There's the ratchet. And, of course, toe articulation, like so, to fully move this figure forward. And here's Captain Atom with some other leaguers. We, of course, have, from left to right, Endless Winter, Aquaman right there. The most recent review I believe I've done on the channel, which is Flashpoint Flash. And then, of course, classic Martian Manhunter. And he looked good with all of these. And you can definitely tell that at least At least they made a new torso for this guy. But with the boots and everything, those are newly sculpted. This is not the best character to use for that. But you can tell definitely in the arms and most of the legs, a lot of reuse going on here, even though they sculpted a lot for him. Since this is a classic Flash, they took it very seriously, but you can tell some of the parts are reused from these two right there. And here's, of course, the oldest figure we have with Action Comics 1000 Superman. Still my go-to Superman. I don't think they've made a better Superman than what they've made right here. Even maybe the Hush version probably won't be as good as this. They just nailed it the first time. And then we, of course, have the newest figure here with Captain Atom. And I think they look great together. You can totally do some ACBA. I know I will. So let that be known in the next few days. Shorts will be going on with this figure right here. And, of course, they look fantastic. You could recreate some of those Justice League Unlimited scenes with Superman and Captain Atom fighting through the Cadmus bunker. Such a cool story arc. And, of course, here we are with one of the most fascinating groupings is here's the Charlton Watchmen. At least the three of them that we have in the line. So, little backstory behind this is that Alan Moore, when he was pitching Watchmen, he first went to Charlton Comics. And because these were all owned by a different company at the time, even though they were bought by DC in like the 80s or something like that. 90s, I think, actually. But he went to Charlton Comics. He's like, I want to write the deconstruction of the superhero. And he involved characters like Captain Atom, Peacemaker, Blue Beetle, The Question was one of them. And I don't remember which one Silk Spectre was initially. I can't remember off the top of my head. But of course, Captain Atom was supposed to be Dr. Manhattan, who became... The idea for Dr. Manhattan originated from Moore's pitch for Captain Atom. Night Owl spawned from Blue Beetle, and Peacemaker spawned from the Comedian. Or the Comedian spawned from Peacemaker, my bad. But of course, Charlton turned them down because Watchmen is very much its own standalone thing, and by the end of it, you know, the Question allegory, Rorschach, would have been spoilers for a 20 plus year old story. He gets killed at the end, and they wouldn't be able to go back to these characters. So I'm very happy he didn't actually use these characters, but it's still a fascinating what if scenario. What if Alan Moore's pitch to Charlton actually went through and we saw Watchmen with these characters? Absolutely fascinating. And of course, here's more evidence for the repaint. You of course have same boots, just without the stripe painted. We of course have a different diaper there. And we also have a little bit of the Blue Beetle beetle right there. It's barely noticeable, but it's there. It's there. It's obviously a repainted chest. Just something to note on the similarities between certain figures. And this was definitely the blueprint for a lot of these streamlined comic book characters. But yeah, guys, that's kind of it for Captain Atom here. And overall, I am really liking this figure, even though it's not exactly remaking the wheel. It's literally just releasing the same body buck over and over again. I'm still really happy that the opportunities presented by this body buck are getting us characters like Captain Atom, who's exactly not the he's not the typical hero you think of. He's very much a C and D list hero, and he's a very cool hero. He's very powerful, and of course can go toe-to-toe with the best of the best in the DC universe, and he's very underappreciated. So give Captain Atom your love, especially if you want to complete a Justice League. This is a must. He's one of those members where it's like, oh, it's that guy. But I really like him. I really dig the effects pieces. The effects pieces are probably the best part because, of course, it's a reuse of a lot of different parts, like the Blue Beetle buck, and then, of course, the head is it looks like it's the reuse of a Superman head. Don't quote me on that. But besides that, not exactly redefining anything, not exactly groundbreaking figure, but good enough, I'd say, for a character like Captain Atom. Very solid. I give this a 7 out of 10. Very just middle of the road. He's good. He's a good figure, and you can do a lot of stuff with him, but nothing that gives him that wow factor that you should get this guy. But yeah, guys, that's it for this review. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And tell me what you think about him down in the comments below. I love interacting with you guys. And that's everything. I will catch you guys in the next video. Of course, keep collecting and keep supporting everybody out there. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace.